Hello, and welcome to For Better or Worse, a movie and TV podcast. The podcast where a married couple reviews movies and TV. Please, if you like us, then follow us on Instagram and TikTok and subscribe to us on YouTube at FBOW Podcast to show your support. Support us. We're just two beautiful people, just living life, looking for people to listen to us.
Looking for love.
We
Even though
found
we're
love.
married. Oh, we found it already.
Looking for love.
Speaking of married, Toby, spoilers for episodes 3
Are
and 4.
you kidding me?
What?
I'm Toby.
I'm Gino.
And today, no one knows what we're talking about.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's in the title.
We're talking about The Last of Us on HBO.
Episodes 3 and 4, they're good.
Specifically.
Non-spoilers, very good. Episode 3, very, very, very good. So, Toby, do you agree?
Yeah, just go on the internet.
If you go, I mean, like, if you probably already heard about it already, because we're like super late. We're like a week late because we suck. Actually, we
don't suck. We did Dope Sick last week, so we didn't talk about it this
We have Dope Sick now because we did all the drugs.
Oh, we did all the drugs.
And we stopped doing the drugs.
Honestly,
and now we're Dope Sick.
I feel a little under the weather.
She's also pregnant.
Probably from pregnant. I don't do drugs.
Not dope sickness.
I just want to be clear, yeah.
Except for caffeine.
Oh my gosh, you know what grates me?
You didn't really do caffeine.
I do caffeine in the morning. It really grates me. It's so funny that you did it immediately.
Whispering into the microphone?
It is so grating to me.
I love it.
You love it. And he literally did it before we started. And he's like, just be happy. And I had it in my head. I was like, I hate when you whisper in the microphone.
What is wrong with me whispering in the microphone?
I just can't.
What's the point of having a windscreen if I can't whisper weirdly into the microphone?
I don't know, but you know when you're like, your jaw
What's worse,
clenches?
me whispering or me doing
they're both
beard
terrible.
ASMR?
All terrible.
All right, everybody. So episode 3 is quite possibly one of the best episodes of TV I've seen in a long time. It's very good. So spoilers.
Ba, 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 ba.
I'm like so happy with how good episode 3 was because it took a show that was like, oh yeah, it's like a good zombie show or whatever, to like cultural phenomenon. Like everyone's talking about it. People are asking me questions about it because they know I play video games. They're like, that's a video game.
And it's like also in the corporate world too, right? Like it's generating buzz against like corporations.
Are you in the corporate world?
No, but you were telling me about how Microsoft is like, because of Last of Us.
So Microsoft is trying to buy Activision, who is the company that owns like Blizzard and Call of Duty and yada, yada, yada. Blizzard makes like Overwatch and Diablo and all these amazing games. So Activision is worth $70 billion according to Microsoft.
Sorry, I'm trying to find the IMDb app again.
Star Wars cost Disney what, like $1 billion, $2 billion? Sure. Marvel cost them $1 billion. Microsoft's trying to buy Activision for $70 billion. And someone who I think works for Microsoft tweeted something like, The Last of Us is so good. The only way we can compete with Sony is if they let us buy Activision and own like half the gaming market.
And honestly, I don't think they'd be saying that if episode 3 didn't
That came out after episode 3. They're like, only Sony has the ability to make like an IP in a video, intellectual property in a video game, and then do it again in, TV. And he didn't bring up the fact that like they make cameras too. So this might be shot on Sony cameras. I don't think it is. I think I saw Ari. Isn't that crazy? Sony makes cameras. I don't even think they use Sony cameras on this show.
Wow, that's saying something about the Sony
Saying something about Sony cameras, man. Ari, everyone in Hollywood uses Ari, apparently. Ari brand. Well, we use Fujifilm because we are hipsters.
Poor.
No, my God, this is an expensive camera. Oh my God. Hipsters.
Poor.
Poor. Anyway, so I'm just like very happy with it. Like someone at work texted someone else to ask me, what system can we play The Last of Us on? I'm like, that's not really a game you just kind of like jump into casually.
Why not?
But they're watching the show on HBO and they want their son to play the game.
Age of the Son.
I don't care. I didn't ask.
You should ask.
But I'm like, well, it's on the PS3. Then they re-released it on the PS4. Then they remade it on the PS5.
God, I'm so glad you're telling us that.
This is for the people at home, Toby.
People at home, Google it.
Someone told me at work today they just listened to when I re-upload our clips onto my Instagram story.
They just listen to our clips.
That's all they listen to. So this is for them.
Hey, for you, share them.
Also, the person that told me that is the person that was texted and then texted to ask me.
Listen, whoever that
their eyes glazed over as I just started explaining it. Yeah.
Love you. How about you repost it on your story?
There you go. That's how you can really support if you really want to be supportive.
Right, glaze over whenever Gino explains something, which I'm sure happens
or when I
constantly.
whisper in the microphone. Toby loves it.
I'm telling you.
Toby, as a fan of Parks and Recreation,
Yes.
is this the most Ron Swanson part ever, or the not most Ron Swanson part ever?
If anybody ever says this is not Ron Swanson,
It's Ron Swanson. I mean,
it's Ron Swanson.
It's not much different than how Ron Swanson would have reacted to the end of the world. Ron Swanson was a character played by Nick Offerman in Parks and Rec. Parks and Rec sucks, so don't worry about it. But
Are you kidding me?
But Nick Offerman in Parks and Rec is amazing.
Listen, Kim gets really upset when you say that.
She should.
I get really upset when you say
pick better shows.
You know Parks and Rec is a good show.
So if you could just cut out all of the parts of Parks and Rec with Nick Offerman in it, God, it's so good. And Ben Schwartz.
And do like clips. Do you know that literally?
I
Do
just
you know
watch like Ron Swanson,
like whatever.
Yeah.
What is it? Do you know watch like a 20-minute video of just Ron Swanson?
Yeah, so
a good character.
If Ron Swanson was like a 5 out of 10 on like the crazy libertarian survivalist scale, Bill, who is the character from The Last of Us, is like an 11. Like the episode starts off, he's like in his basement.
Well, and Nick Offerman is also a guy like this. Like he does woodworking, he does hunting. Like
he's not a survivalist though.
No,
or like a conspiracy theory guy.
I mean, we don't know.
We don't.
Maybe
know.
him and Megan Mullally.
I think he even admitted that that like him and Ron would be like more or less equivalent in the apocalypse, but Bill is like good at everything.
Right.
He can build stuff. He can make traps.
I mean, like
He's got surveillance
guy made a
systems.
Fence around.
Yeah, he can make bombs and stuff.
That's
he made a moat. Like the guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like the episode starts off with first of all, Joel and Ellie are barely in this episode. It's really more of a story about Bill.
Which I don't know if anybody was expecting that. Right? Like
no, I wasn't.
Nobody was expecting a Bill heavy episode.
It's like a little Bill movie, like an hour-long Bill movie.
It felt a lot like a movie, which was interesting for me as a non-game player.
Yeah. Oh, should I explain Bill? Bill's in the game for like, I don't know, maybe an hour, and he has like 2 cutscenes, and he's like kind of an a-hole, and he's like same kind of like survivalist kind of dude, but he's by himself. There's no Frank. Like Frank's already dead by the time the game starts. Joel asks him for a car, and then they go to get the car, and he's like mean to Ellie, and then like they find Frank who hung himself. So and like he's like, oh, that's my partner Frank, and like Joel doesn't know him. So it's very different than the game, and I think the show does a much better job with this character. In the game, he's just like some sort of nonsense, like some side character you forget about.
Which I mean makes sense, right? Because for a game, correct me if I'm wrong.
I will.
You're only about the gameplay, and the main characters are Ellie and Joel.
Yeah.
So why would you flesh out this other character?
Right. He's not exactly.
Right.
But in the show,
the point is the quest. We need to get X, Y, and Z.
Right. And he's just there to provide like color commentary and like be an a-hole. And like he goes, this is before. So like a big part of The Last of Us is that you have someone with you usually. And so like this is in the gameplay. Ellie hasn't used a gun yet, and Ellie's not like able to be the side character that you're with. So you always have to have someone there from a gameplay perspective. So it was Tess, but then Tess dies. Mm-hmm. Spoiler. So then in the next part of the game, it's Bill.
Got it.
And then like Bill, I don't think Bill dies in the game. And then the characters that show up at the end of episode 4.
Sorry.
You looking at the cat?
Well, I thought you were going to say, and then Millie shows up.
Millie shows up. Yeah, so I think from that perspective, Bill was just like, oh, we need another character to be with Joel because Ellie's not at that point yet. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you can ask Mr. Druckmann himself, Mr. Neil, the Druckmann, but that's my hypothesis on the situation.
Is it testable?
Anyway, Bill is like whatever in the game. Like I forgot his character existed. And in the show, I'll never forget this for the rest of my life. I mean, Nick Offerman did like an amazing job. The guy from
you just knocked this into me.
The guy from White Lotus.
And obviously he's been in other things.
Nope. What's his name? Mr. White Lotus?
Armand.
Frank did a great job playing Frank.
Murray Bartlett.
Yeah. So like, I don't know, the best way I can explain this whole episode, it's like imagine if you took the first 10 minutes from the movie Up, made it an hour long, set it in the apocalypse, and it's a gay couple. That's this. And it's amazing.
It is an emotional roller coaster. And like Up really, really pinches that into 2 minutes. So we get a little bit more game. Oh, geez. A little bit more. I was going to say gameplay.
You do get a lot of gayness.
You're
saying game?
I was going to say gameplay. Not gayness, but like a lot of gayness. Like Which is honestly lovely. It was a nice, and you had said that the video game might have alluded to the fact.
I mean, they heavily allude to the fact that he's gay because he calls Frank, like he's saying
his
like
partner, right?
Yeah, he's like trying to explain to Bill why he's trying to explain to Joel why like Joel shouldn't get close to Ellie because he's like, I had a partner once and all they do is get you killed. So like Frank's already dead by the time the game happens,
right? So you don't get that back.
And then you find Frank, and then Bill, like Frank has hung himself somewhere else, like where they're going, and then Bill gets very emotional. And then, which we saw in episode 4, there's that scene in the car where Ellie finds the gay porn magazine.
I forgot whose car that was.
It's Bill's car. Yeah. So it's like heavily implied in the game that Bill's gay. And then in the show, they like really make that.
It's not implied.
It's like a gay love story. It's like, it's amazing.
Right. And I mean, like, is it fair to say gay love story? It's a beautiful love story, right? Like, it happens to be between two men.
Yes,
I'm sorry, I'm a
right.
woman. I'm not a woman scientist. I'm a scientist.
It's a regular love story.
It's a regular love, and it's so unique. So I want to ask you, okay, you're in Bill's shoes. You catch a human.
Yep.
He's in a ditch. You got a gun.
He's good looking.
Are you letting him live?
Yeah. If he looks like that guy Frank, yeah.
I guess
that's
so,
what happened.
right?
He was like,
Right, and then he like...
And you've been alone for what, like at that point, 2 or 3 years?
A few years, right. I really thought he was just going to send him away. Like, I did not know what was going to happen. Having known that Frank was the partner, like, you told me.
Right.
And it didn't occur to me that this was Frank.
Yeah, I think you knew, like, oh yeah, they like are gonna be like together.
It truly did not occur to me because every time that Bill was like, "You need to go," I was like, "There goes Frank."
No
like,
more
I guess
Frank.
he's
It's
gonna
like, I'm here to
leave.
stay. No, it'd be like he has. First of all, how Ron Swanson is this? He breaks into the liquor store. He has all the wine for the rest of his life.
Mm-hmm.
He has all of his own meat. He knows how to cook. So like. Bill needed to share that with someone.
He needed to share it, and it was so lovely.
And Joel shows up later, and he doesn't even like Joel. So,
right, and like the only reason that they meet Joel is because Tess and Frank are chit chatting over the radio.
Right,
just a couple of gals gossiping.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
So,
and they're smugglers. Right?
It was actually really
again
cute.
in the game. It's kind of insinuated that Joel doesn't even know who Frank is. So
well, and in this
is different.
In
they
this
like
it was
have
different.
Dinner together.
It was so nice because, like, also, I forgot where I was going with this.
Pregnancy brain, Toby's favorite excuse for everything that she never says.
It's my 3 concussions, you guys.
Oh, 3 concussions brain.
It's just like, I guess, making it worse.
How about that study that came out showing that it was like 18% of male athletes and like 15% of female athletes in high schools have concussions.
Like cognitive issues.
High five.
Have cognitive issues from
their
concussions and behavioral. So I believe my cognitive issues came from that fun concussion I had in high school. I had 2, one in middle school, one in high school.
Toby got into an argument with a goalpost and
that was middle school.
Goalpost one.
The goalpost one. That was quite an egg on my
Wait, you had
forehead.
a concussion already by the time I met you? So I don't even know what like regular Toby is.
2, because my one in high school was in 9th grade.
I don't even know what Toby is like. I don't even know the real Toby.
You don't know the real me with a memory.
No wonder you married me. You're like already damaged by the time we met in 9th grade.
I already forgot what you were like.
Yeah, no, because you're like, I don't know what I'm supposed to like. I have 2 concussions.
I didn't
This doofus seems nice.
I didn't have amnesia.
Yeah, but you like, who knows, Toby? What happened?
Do I remember our first meeting? No, I don't.
I don't remember our first meeting either. I've had no concussions as far as I know.
So it's not just me. But anyway, Frank was so cute because he was like, I want to entertain.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
Who are you entertaining?
And he's like, we don't have any friends. And Bill's like, there are no friends. My favorite line in the whole show is when him and Bill are arguing. And he's like, you were just one of those like crazy conspiracy theorists who thinks all the government is Nazis. And he's like, the government is literally Nazis.
And he's like, yeah,
he's like, but no, they weren't before.
Right. It was just like very cute that they're arguing. And they just like bicker like anybody in the apocalypse or in a relationship.
But then this. Oh well. We'll talk about
wait.
We'll talk about it later.
Because I have another question to pose to you.
Yeah.
Which we didn't really talk about because we were setting it up. Would you have been able to do, I don't know, a 16th of what Bill did to secure the town and make his life easy?
No way. We're dead. If this happens in real life, we're dead.
No, we're at a QZ really struggling.
Yeah, or just I'll be like Toby.
Or dead.
Just dead. We're not. There's no way. Maybe. I mean, like we have like a plastic fence.
I don't know how he rigged
He fenced off, yeah, and like we're in the suburbs, we're in New York, like we don't have enough land to grow stuff, I think.
I mean, enough for us too, but like also have chickens and goats
Yeah,
and
like
things.
I don't know how I would not be able to like keep the car running, like because our cars are too new.
No, we had a generator too. We don't have a generator. I wouldn't even make one.
We have a fireplace.
We'd have to cut down a tree.
Even the boiler won't work. We have an oil boiler, but that's not going to work without electricity to like start it.
No, we'd be
We're
most dead.
Yeah, very dead. Or like in a QZ, probably dying.
In a QZ, definitely dying because we also
Sorry,
can't
little
barter.
baby that's about to be born. Your parents suck.
Right. Well, we're meant to be in this universe.
Right. And this fragile, fragile society we have that cannot handle any amount of fungal infections, except for athlete's foot. That's what I can handle.
Yeah.
Athlete's foot.
Can we stop climate change specifically so this fungus doesn't like start
an article came out that was like fungal infections are on the rise. I'm like, this is where it starts.
Right? They're mutating to be
Washington
okay
Post
with
article.
our. This is not okay.
I'm gonna be like that lady in episode 2, like
bomb
everybody.
Bomb.
So yeah, we are. I don't know how to make traps.
Oh no. We'd have to kill squirrels.
We can't grow a garden. We couldn't even really
grow a garden.
You could grow a garden, kinda.
I could grow zucchini.
You make zucchini. We had so much zucchini. We would live off zucchini for the rest of our lives exclusively. And like squirrel. You eating Millie?
No.
Yeah, I'm eating Millie.
She's our comfort animal.
No way. If it's between life and death, Millie, you're out.
You're
Moose
not gonna
too.
Eat
out.
her.
Yeah. Unless we can use Moose to hunt.
We can use Moose has zero. Moose is our dog. He's skinny AF.
Yeah, but he's a hunting dog.
Yeah, but he's got no meat on his bones. We'd have to use him to hunt.
Right. So if we could figure out how to find things to hunt on Long Island, we could maybe use Moose. They're for raccoon hunting.
I don't want to eat a raccoon.
I guess we could bring Moose down to like Fire Island area.
Anywhere, and we'll just
Roosevelt.
The point is,
we're dead.
We're dead, and like the things Bill was doing were just so impressive.
All of his walls of guns in his basement.
That's true.
He had a surveillance system that already went through like the whole town somehow. So yeah, and Nick Offerman was even saying like of all the characters he played, Bill is the most like advanced when it comes to his abilities.
Where was his mom? Did his mom already pass when he lived there?
I don't know. We have to rewatch the episode.
His
mom might have already been dead by the time
I think so, and he was just like living in her house.
I can't imagine he was just like, "Bye, mom. Go get captured by the government. See you later."
Liability.
Yeah. So Toby, your notes. You say for episode 3, they only got attacked badly once.
So my issue, which is not really an issue, they have to just show us once. They can't show us every time. But like no, if there are raiders. You're getting attacked more than once.
Because, I mean, the whole episode takes place over, like, what? Like 30 years, I think?
Yeah, like a long time. And literally, they only get attacked after Joel foreshadows it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Joel brings it to the... I think Bill mentions they're, like, very out of the way.
Yeah, but I guess. But, like, and also, like, no, you're not totally secure. People could cut through the gate.
And then they get electrocuted. It's an electric fence.
I guess so.
I had the problem where he was just like he has all these buildings to shoot from, and he's just shooting from like the middle of the street.
The drive,
like just go on the second floor and shoot from the window.
Sniper it.
Yeah, what are you doing? But like, yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, I think it was pretty
accurate.
Accurate. I mean, it's a pretend.
It's
but
real.
Like, not like there's not a lot of points where I sit there like this is unrealistic.
No, I just like I don't know, thinking about how often you'd probably get attacked by people.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe more. But I guess you're right. It's an electric fence. Maybe they didn't want to waste the energy. Bill did get shot.
And I'm like, he's not dying. He's in the game.
I thought the same thing.
I was wrong. But the next scene, they show like someone in a wheelchair, so you think it's going to be Bill.
Right.
But it's really a time skip to when they're old, and it's Frank, because Frank has like Alzheimer's or like MS or something like that, cancer, some sort of degenerative disease.
Yeah, something's not going his way.
Yeah. So this goes from when they're in their probably like their 50s, 40s, all the way till they're in their like 70s.
Yeah, 20 years.
And this is where because most of the episode's not sad. Most of the episode's like very sweet. They're falling in love. They grow strawberries.
I ate a strawberry the other day, and I was like,
She's crying. Yeah, it's like all this really great stuff, and they have dinner with Joel and whatever. The last like 20 minutes of the episode, when they finally time skip to the modern times,
20 years later.
2023 when the rest of the show takes place.
Which reminds me, I think that's why they started in 2003.
So that the current time can be.
Yeah, that was the only thing I could think of to make it current.
Cares? When the apocalypse happened, who cares when it?
I know we don't. That is the only reason I can think of.
People are going to think it takes place in the future, so they have to make it so 2023.
They have to think present is present.
I was playing part 2 again, and there's one part where she goes by like a Comic-Con kind of thing, and it says like, Comic Expo 2013. So like, whatever. Neil Druckmann and Craig Mazin.
Can you guys comment?
Can you let us know why you made it? It's just one of those things that bothers me. Like, why?
Right.
I thought it was kind of cool that you're playing a game that's in like absolute horrible conditions, like the Wild West, but it's technically the future.
Which is cool. And since Gino's bothered by it, I'm bothered by it.
Yes.
Sympathy bothered.
Sympathy bothered. Now, Frank basically decides, because he's so old and decrepit, and he can't take care of himself. Bill has to literally pick him out of bed, put him in a wheelchair, bring him around everywhere, that he's going to do assisted suicide, and that's his last day on Earth. And I'm like, oh God.
I hope they talked about this like beforehand, like
they talked
threw
about
it out
in
there.
The show.
No. Like it wasn't like, so I think I'm gonna die today.
I think that is kind of what they're insinuating.
You don't think he was ever like leading up to it?
I
Like,
this sucks.
Right? Like maybe today's the day. Nope.
I'm fine. Like how old people are. Like this is it.
Yeah.
Like Red Fox in Sanford and Son. This is the big one. I'm coming. It's a good
you know what show I didn't watch?
You didn't watch Sanford and Son?
No.
Oh my God. I want a divorce. So yeah, this is where all the sad starts because he's like, I just need you. And like Bill obviously doesn't want him to die. He's like the only reason for Bill to be living, whatever. So he wants basically to have the best day ever, and for their last day for them to get married. And they go to the boutique. They get tuxedos.
Somebody pointed out that gay marriage wasn't even legal in like 2003 when everything went to hell.
Was it legal by 2013?
2008, no?
No, 2000. The Supreme Court made it legal.
So let me see.
Which means they can make it unlegal.
You guys.
I think now. I think now it's law. Actually, I think they passed a law making it legal in Congress.
Marriage. Legalized in New York, in the world, in the
United
country.
States, because they're in the middle of nowhere. So
gay marriage legalized.
I guess they're in Massachusetts, right? Yeah, they're in Boston. So when was it legalized in Boston?
Oh, in Massachusetts.
We do good research here. When
2004.
Oh, so
close.
It would have been, they would have not, In the video game, it would have been legal, but in the universe of the show, it was not legal. So that means basically their marriage is a sham. So I'm not saying anymore. It's not recognized by the former state of Massachusetts. So
yeah, so sorry, guys.
Anyway, so they get married. He makes him the meal they ate on the first day they met. Amazing wine. They grind up, I guess, a bunch of probably OxyContin into throwback to our last episode.
Oh my God, it probably was.
Probably was OxyContin. It was the early 2000s, so that's all they had. So he grinds up a whole ton of pills in his wine, and then you find out after their lovely day, and everyone's crying, that Bill also took a bunch, and so they're both going to die together.
Right.
And
he goes, "Did you already put it in the wine?" He goes, "Enough to kill a horse."
Yep. Which I said that line before they said it.
It's honestly really annoying watching the show with Gino.
Hire me. I know these lines, man. Hire me. So I have no experience writing at all. I'll just use ChatGPT to write everything. So then they die Notebook style. They sleep and they die. The end.
The end. And it's very sad and sweet.
But
minutes later.
Yes. Well, I guess not minutes later, but some time later, very recently after they die, is when Joel and Ellie show up to get the car. And then instead of meeting Bill directly and going on a little adventure, Bill has just left him a note like, hey, we're dead. Don't go in the bedroom. Like, our bodies are in there.
Take whatever you want.
Take whatever you want. Take whatever guns you want. Take the car. See you later.
Right.
And like tell Tess, like I said, hello, and make sure you protect Tess. Yada, yada, yada. So again, very different from the games because Bill's dead by the time Joel shows up in the show. But like this episode, I feel like we're underselling how good this episode was.
But is he dead?
Right. That's the conspiracy because there's people that are like, there's noise in the background and blah, blah,
so,
blah.
So not gonna lie, right? I saw it. Like Joel is looking one way, Ellie's sitting in the dining room, and the front door is open and then shuts.
So you think that's Bill?
I think it's Bill. We never go into the room and see two bodies.
Yeah.
Right? We know for a fact that Frank drank the wine with the meds in it.
Because we saw them put the meds in it.
Right.
But we didn't see.
We didn't see Bill put the meds in the wine. And also, what a waste of a character.
I know. Like, Nick Offerman's so good.
There cannot be a world where you have such a great episode and then kill off the character.
I think they left it open just so that, like, if they want to bring him back, they can. I don't know if Frank is in part 2 in Last of Us Part 2.
Frank is dead.
Sorry, I know that Frank's not in part 2. He's dead. I don't know if Bill is in Last of Us Part 2. I don't know if he plays a part in that game. So, like, if he does, obviously they're going to have to bring him back. But, yeah, you have Nick Offerman putting on the performance of his career, probably. He made out with a guy.
Right?
Like, come on.
Like,
he makes out with Megan Mullally probably every day.
Oh, I'm pretty sure.
And had to make out with the guy from the White Lotus.
Also very attractive, though.
Yeah, I know, but like Megan Mullally. Megan Mullally, when she was on Will and Grace.
Yeah,
was,
you
like,
love Karen.
Yeah, that's it. That weird Manhattanite.
Ah.
Yeah. Always talking about her fat, gross husband.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, that
you never see, right? You never see her?
You never see him.
It was Nick Offerman.
Oh, no.
I will say, though, and the reason why Nick Offerman should never be allowed in public again, they did show him in the post-credits interview without facial hair. No. You're not allowed to not have facial hair.
No, that's a Tammy.
That's a Tammy 2. No, Tammy 2 is Megan Mullally.
Tammy 2. That's a Tammy 2 face.
Tammy 1 is the one that does his mustache. That makes him all perfect. Tammy 1 was like the accountant.
Yes.
That's the one who makes him shave. Parks and Rec sucks. It's a stupid show.
Gino loved Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec sucks.
Everybody start season 3.
Yeah, no. Tammy 2 is great because that's the one who made him like sex crazed and like he got cornrows in his hair. Yeah, Tammy 2, which I assume is what they do in real life. I also think to give a shout out to Megan Mullally. Apparently it's her fault he's in this show because he didn't have time to read the script when they sent it to him. And she read the script and she's like, no, you got to do this. I'm assuming it said on the top of the script, you will almost certainly be nominated for an Emmy. If he's not nominated for an Emmy for this, please.
You have to be.
For Best Supporting Actor, I guess it would be. I don't know if they do like single episode characters for Emmy.
I think they do for at least writing, like the guy who, or director, like people who wrote or directed like one single episode get like.
I think Greg Mazin directed this episode, but
no. It wasn't because there was another guy that was like, I did, or was he?
No, the other guy was 5 and 6.
Oh,
he's coming up. Yeah, I think
no
this
idea.
one, yeah.
Could I look it up?
Yeah, so like this is the kind of episode that's so good. It takes a good show and like elevates it to the point where like you're gonna tell normies to watch it. So watch it. Anything else you want to say about episode 3?
No.
Then episode 4 happens, and like episode 4 is really good. Ain't as good as episode 3.
No, but they needed that pace change. Like I was reading about it and it's necessary where like the pace was slower, right? You're hitting obstacles.
You're just hanging out with these two awesome
developing
characters.
Right relationships, and we needed to see a little bit more of the universe.
Yeah.
We saw, what was it? A sign? What did we see? No, Arby's? What did we see?
This episode 4.
What
they
store?
show like a sign that's Arby's and it's like broken.
Yeah, so we saw a little bit more of the universe. It was just like a nice, like drawn out episode with dialogue.
Episode 4?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought you were still talking about episode 3.
No.
Okay, so we're done with episode 3.
We're done with 3. But
I liked episode 4.
No,
I'm just saying, like,
yeah.
episode 4 was not, like, episode 3 is, like, award-winning, probably.
Yeah.
Episode 4 is just, like, another episode.
But I mean, like, you would need those.
Yeah. Whatever. Toby. But I liked episode 4, one, because they did that scene from the game, like, perfectly.
Yeah, we saw somebody had clipped them together.
Yeah, so there's a scene where, again, I mentioned this, where they're in Bill's car, and they find the gay porn mag, and Ellie's like, oh, my God, what is this? Like, I don't know what this penis is, and it's so big, or whatever. And Joel's like really uncomfortable, and she's like, I'm screwing with you. And she
it was funny that it was just
and it was almost like shot for shot. And what's her face?
Bella Ramsey.
Bella Ramsey. I mean, like, she kills it.
She's really good.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's almost weird seeing the video game Ellie when I play part 2, because I'm like, you're not Ellie. But, like, that is Ellie.
Right?
But it's mean Ellie. Spoilers, I guess.
I mean, like,
you start to see mean Ellie a little bit in this episode.
you see her developing.
She's getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah. She eventually becomes like.
I would say
mean.
Ellie is relatively on the meaner side. Like,
Yeah.
she's like a harsh, biting kid, you know?
Yeah, but not like a murderer. And she does almost a murderer in this episode.
She hasn't been like mean, but she's definitely curses more.
Yeah. Oh no. She curses all.
Rough.
Yeah. In the first episode, she was cursing. She starts off cursing.
Yeah. She's a rough kid.
Mother F is like her big one.
It's a nice release, that one.
So like this is the episode where, and again, it's a little bit different than the game. I think in the game, the first time she uses a gun, she does sneak a gun. She hides it from Joel. And there's a part in the game, and this is why I bring up the idea that like you always have to have someone with you in the game, where Joel and Ellie get separated. So I think it's the first part of the game where you're by yourself with Joel, and it is a scary. I don't like the parts of these games where you're by yourself. It happened in part 2 recently where you're by yourself. I'm like, this is terrible. Like, why do I hate this so much? It's because you're by yourself. So you're by yourself as Joel trying to get back to Ellie. And then you get back to Ellie. You get attacked by a bunch of infected. And then Ellie saves Joel by shooting one of them. In the show, it's like the paramilitary in Kansas City where they're at.
No, not. What do you mean paramilitary?
Like they get rid of Fedra. They're in a QZ, but they got rid of Fedra, so it's just like random people now.
Right, they had a rebellion.
Is that not what paramilitary is?
I don't know what paramilitary is.
I'm just gonna use the word like I know what it is.
Right.
I'm a lib who doesn't know anything about war or guns. I'm gonna use paramilitary. So like in this one, it's like a trap set by like these paramilitary people that are trying to get Joel.
Just say rebellion, like
rebels, whatever, bad people,
rebels.
And Joel is getting like choked out by one of them, and then Ellie shoots the one.
Right. Also, good
and then
tactic.
she cries.
She does cry. She does it right away, real fast, and shakes it off.
I think, again, I got to give credit to the... If it's in the game like I remember it, where she's shooting a walker...
No.
Infected. If it's like the game where if the game is where she's shooting an infected, that's not as big of a deal emotionally as her killing a person. Right? This is the first time, as far as we know, although she said she's done it before. Mm-hmm. This is the first time she's killed a person. So, like, you see the tears and all that stuff.
Or injured a person that badly.
She didn't kill him. But, like, if you have her just shoot infected, like, who cares?
Right.
So I got to give credit here to the game. I mean, to the show a little bit. Showing them.
Yeah, no. It was a good character development. They're doing a good job showing us character growth and how they change. And, like...
Biting review there, Tubbs.
I don't do words.
It's show is good. Watch show. Okay, so I just like again, and you know, I know we just talked about how Ellie is like transitioning over to mean Ellie, but like showing happy Ellie and like a mild spoiler for Last of Us Part 2 in the sense that like Ellie, just if you don't want to hear anything, then don't. I'm not going to spoil any story beats. So stop now if you don't want to hear anything about anything. But like Ellie becomes mean. So it's, as someone who's currently playing part 2, it's just like nice and refreshing to see like happy Ellie again. And like there are things that are going to happen later on in the season because if they don't happen, it's really dumb. And people who know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, you played the game. There are like very happy, fun moments in the game that I'm like now looking forward to seeing.
Because you want to see this happy relationship.
Yeah, and there's really happy, nice moments in part 2 that like you were there for.
Yeah.
That like I'm looking forward to seeing again now because like happy Ellie is nice. I like happy Ellie.
And also like happy young Ellie, right?
Yeah.
Like over time, she's going to be more jaded.
Yeah.
And more untrustworthy. So this makes sense that 14-year-old Ellie has a joke book.
She does all the stupid jokes, little puns that Toby hates.
And she thinks if I hate them so much.
But like Joel pretends to hate them, but he really doesn't hate them.
I mean, like eventually you get a good one. The diarrhea one
runs in your
bad.
jeans.
So it is really nice. And again, seeing Pedro Pascal as a gruff, grumpy guy who also has a soft spot.
Mando. That's what he is in Mando. A gruff, grumpy guy who also has a soft
spot. Yes.
He plays that very well.
And I'm very attracted to it.
Yeah. I am going to say this, though. I think it's controversial. I think I enjoy Bella Ramsey as Ellie more than I enjoy Pedro Pascal as... Like, Pedro Pascal feels like Pedro Pascal playing Joel, Bella Ramsey feels like Ellie. I think that's also because Pedro Pascal's more famous. We've seen him in more things, blah, 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 blah.
We've seen him in...
Bella Ramsey has like
thing.
2 or 3 one-liners in Game of Thrones, and like that's it.
She also
she's just
sounds like Ellie.
Yeah,
she does a really good job. But I mean, I don't have that issue with Joel, but also because I didn't play the game, so I don't have another Joel to reference.
Yeah, and like not that I'm like a big fan of Joel, like a lot of the internet was, when like they got mad about part 2 and whatever happens to Joel in part 2. Like, so I'm not that big of a fan of Joel, but like, yeah, Joel is like, it's not that he's doing a bad job playing Joel. He's doing a great job playing Joel, but it feels like Pedro Pascal's interpretation of Joel. And whereas Bella Ramsey feels like I am Ellie.
Right.
Like when I watch the show, I'm like, oh, that's Pedro Pascal playing Joel. And that's Ellie. That's the real Ellie. And then when I go to the games, I'm like, oh, that's someone else playing Ellie in the game. Because Bella Ramsey, I think, is doing such a good job playing Ellie that it's weird seeing like Ellie in part 2.
It's a Bella Ramsey
not
fan
Bella
page
Ramsey.
now.
I know. She's just doing such a good job.
Yeah.
I think it's curious because I do know they've confirmed that Troy Baker, the voice actor for Joel, is going to be in this at some point, playing like a cannibal. And they've confirmed that the voice actress for Ellie is going to be in the show at some point, but they haven't said what she's doing yet. You know, I wonder if they're going to interact at all.
I was just going to say, I didn't know if Walking Dead had cannibals, but I do believe they did.
The wolves,
I think.
The wolves are in Last of Us Part 2.
No, they're also
No, that's not a spoiler. It's just the name of a group.
Yeah, and I think there are also wolves in Walking Dead, and I think they were cannibals.
Well, the ones
I didn't watch that far.
Listen, let me listen. Parks and Rec is like, The Godfather compared to freaking Walking Dead. Talk about a show.
I think it was great up until they were.
I finished Parks and Rec. I couldn't even get to season 3 of Walking Dead.
But I didn't know. Is that when they were in a jail? That was good stuff.
Yeah, it was like done. They got out of the jail. I'm done.
They got out of the
because there's no likable characters except for the one that dies, the Punisher guy.
What are you talking about?
He's not even likable. He sucks.
What's his face?
Rick sucks.
Not Rick. Who did I love?
No one.
Norman Reedus.
Norman Reedus is not not enough to watch the show. I'm shocked he's not in this.
Why?
Because
I don't
Norman
think
Reedus?
he can't cross over.
No, he probably not.
It would be like the reason why
the show's too good.
No. It would be like why they couldn't put Harry Styles as Elvis. It's like a sore thumb,
why,
right?
What's his face couldn't play Dumbledore? The guy who played
Ian McKellen.
Yeah, Ian McKellen. No, he couldn't play Dumbledore.
He should have been Dumbledore.
But he can't.
He can, and he should have.
You're right. So like, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the voice actors from the game like interact with their show version. Speaking of which, the episode 4 has what's her face in it. Melanie Linsky. And I think she's a new character for the show. She plays like she's like the leader of the rebels that like killed Fedra. Apparently she's crazy. She kills a guy because the guy like was in charge of Fedra killing her brother or something like that. And her second in command, whose name I don't remember, is the voice actress for Joel's brother in the game.
Voice actor?
Voice actor, correct.
Jeffrey Pierce.
Jeffrey Pierce is that.
No, that's Perry. I don't know who Perry is.
I think that's, yes.
Is that Perry?
Yeah, so the voice actor for Joel's brother is and I think he's the face model for Joel's brother too, but I'm not sure. He plays the second in command for these rebels. And he's doing a good job. Like for a voice actor guy, he's like holding his own. He doesn't seem like out of place.
Well, I mean, like, what do you have to do? You just like don't move your face too much and speak.
I don't know like how good of the actor. Like whenever I'm playing a video game, I don't know if I'm like, oh, these are good voice actors because I'm playing a video game, and video games generally have bad acting, or it's like, oh, these are actually good actors.
No, I feel like he doesn't have to do much. He holds a gun and he walks around and says, "Follow me."
I guess
we should tell everyone, right? Because like one of the big things that happens is now we've walked into the bottom of a building and there is a sinkhole. And what do you think is under that sinkhole? The
big, scary infected. The ones that you have to throw a bunch of Molotov cocktails at, and you got to use your shotgun.
Right. So, like, next episode,
spoilers, I guess.
Going to be scary.
I mean, they showed them in the
trailer. In the preview. But, like, obviously, you guys know what's under there. It's not like flowers waiting to sprout.
Ooh. And of course, the crazy dictator lady, Melanie, whatever her name is,
Melanie Linsky,
is ignoring that problem because she wants to go kill people.
She's got other. Listen, if you want to see more Melanie Linsky, watch Yellow Jackets.
Yep.
You should watch Candy on Hulu. That's with.
She's in Westworld.
No. Why do you keep saying she's in Westworld?
Yes, I feel like Melanie Linsky was in Westworld.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I'm already in 2017.
No. Linsky. Then who was in Westworld?
I have no idea.
That's what I know her from.
No,
unless
you
it's a different
don't.
actress.
No,
Melanie
you know
Linsky.
her from Don't Look Up, Gino.
No, I don't.
Yes, you
then
do.
Who's the one in Westworld?
I don't know.
All right, you're gonna have to talk.
Actually, no idea.
I'm looking this up.
So Melanie Linsky is wonderful. And I'm excited to see her crazy because in Yellow Jackets, she also plays crazy. She plays like a mom, like a stay-at-home mom, but also like kills rabbits in the house and grew up like I was missing in the wilderness for a year and a half. So she has a lot of range.
Range.
Yeah. So that is going to be very exciting.
Also, Westworld sucks.
To see. Yeah, we stopped watching Westworld
After season 1. Season 1's great though.
It is. Season 1 is great. And then
Melanie Linsky's definitely in it. So
they jumped the shark.
I'm looking it up. It's Melanie Linsky though. Here I go.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
I have literally no idea who you're talking about.
I'm looking right now.
So Gino, while Gino does that, I'm more concerned with how Joel and Ellie are going to get out of this. Because when we watched the interview with the people who made the show, they were saying that this kind of happens in the game, but it happens in Pennsylvania. And
yeah, just like, yeah.
I just want to, how do you get through? This is a huge city. How are you guys going to get from one end to another and then also get to Wyoming now that your car is gone? I guess you can steal one of their Jeeps.
Come on, that's the same person. Shannon Woodward is the one from.
Crazy?
That's the same person. If I remember, here's Melanie Linsky, here's Shannon Woodward. They're the same person.
This girl is like, no offense, Melanie Linsky, like 20 years younger.
No, they look the same. They're the same. Listen, all white people look the same to me.
Oh my God.
Melanie Linsky
I just
looks
want to say,
just like Shannon Woodward.
Okay, two different people.
It's a compliment for both of them. That's the same person.
Gino, you know her from Don't Look Up. Nobody's listening anymore.
No one watched Don't Look Up.
You did.
No, I didn't.
That's what you know
I don't even remember
from.
Don't Look Up.
She was married to Leonardo DiCaprio.
No.
Yes, she was.
This is the person from.
Wrong.
It's Shannon Woodward.
Oh man, I should be making my blood
just
boil
like
today.
who's the one that looks like the girl from Elf and they all look the same? Katy Perry.
Yeah.
The girl from Elf and then the girl from Elf's
Zooey
sister.
Deschanel.
Zooey Deschanel. They all look the same. So anyway, Shannon Woodward was great in this episode. Not Melanie Linsky either.
Melanie Linsky, my deepest apologies.
That's a compliment for both of them. They're fine. Melanie Linsky.
Anyway, last note. Melanie Linsky's so crazy, right? She's got the doctor who won't give up where
kind of important in
Henry
the middle
is,
of,
right?
In the middle of a freaking, or not in the middle. They're 30 years after.
They're 30, but like you keep
yes.
the doctor,
right?
So he literally says like, I'm the doctor, I'm your doctor.
I gave birth, like, I delivered you,
and she leaves
just like in Dope Sick, which is what the guy said all the time in Dope Sick.
Right, I delivered you. She leaves, is really mad that they have slipped, that whoever she's looking for has slipped beneath her fingers again.
Because like Joel almost killed a guy.
Right, so then she brings him back and she says like, what if I had a doctor? Will that save him? And they're like, no. In this one instance,
right.
the doctor won't
matter.
matter.
Kill him.
I never need a doctor again.
Yep, not like anybody would in real life would not listen to the advice of doctors.
We're kidding. Listen to your doctor.
Sorry, no politics in this. No politics.
Right, listen to your doctor. Don't go and just shoot your doctor.
Yeah.
That was crazy that she was like, I will never need you.
But the doctor ratted out her brother or something. Anyway, so the reason why they're hunting Joel and Ellie is because they think Joel and Ellie are like...
From Henry.
Right. Whoever that is.
Whoever
this Henry guy is.
Right. And so the end of the episode is...
She makes the joke about diarrhea running in your jeans.
Right. And literally, and we learn that Joel is hard of hearing in one of his ears.
Yes.
And he leaves glass at the door so nobody can sneak in.
And then they sneak in.
And then they sneak in. And here we are. Everybody's held up at gunpoint.
It's like these characters I do remember from the game. They're very fun. I'm not going to spoil anything. But they're like good characters. And again, pretty sure one of them is like comes around with you. So like... It's another character that's with Joel during the game.
And so you have, it looks like a dad and a son.
They're not. Spoiler, I guess spoiler. If in the game, they're brothers.
They're brothers.
Yeah, it's older brother and younger brother.
Okay,
if I'm remembering correctly.
Here, from this, it was a young kid, maybe like 9, and an older man holding them up.
I mean, they could change it in the show to dad and son, but in the game, it's brothers.
Okay, so we'll see. We'll have to wait until Friday because Super Bowl
comes
Sunday.
out this Friday.
Yeah, it comes out on Friday, unless that was a trick.
No, I think unless Apple News lied. Which they
Apple
could.
News, fake news.
Apple fake news.
Yeah, so Friday
it really is on Sunday.
Is when it comes out, so it doesn't interfere with any of you football fans.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Did you gamble yet? Did you get any boxes?
No.
You gonna eat wings and stuff?
No.
What if you go into labor during the Super Bowl?
I don't know.
I'm not driving you.
You will have to. You don't care about football that much.
No, I'm gonna pretend I'm gonna like it that day. Once the baby's born, Toby, I have to care about football.
Right.
It's the rules.
And every Sunday.
And I'm not going to cook anymore. And I'm not doing the laundry anymore. That's it. I'm just going to sit around.
What else aren't you supposed to do?
Help the baby in any way.
That's right.
Can't do that. If the baby cries in the middle of the night,
you're gonna wake me up and say, "Go get the baby."
Yep. You're gonna constantly use me as a threat of I'm gonna tell dad, but you're never gonna tell dad.
Right. No, I'll tell dad, but I know dad's not doing a damn thing.
I'm like, just listen to your mother. Listen to your mother, son.
Right.
Yep.
That'll be fun.
Yep.
It'll be fun for us.
Good dad. We can show our son this episode and be like, oh, that is like a good accurate description.
Good job. Wow. Actually, one of the things, so we are all done, but one of the things that I wanted to say.
Like and subscribe.
And specifically follow us on Instagram because I'm going to be posting options for a poll, a couple polls for movies for us to watch.
Oh, yeah, we need to bank some episodes in case we're too tired from the baby.
Correct, because I am a month away, and as much as I love podcasting, and we just make so much money from this. That maternity leave is really going to.
So far, we've made about negative $2,000 on this podcast.
Def negs.
Yeah.
But we are going to need to take a break of doing this weekly.
Otherwise, you have to listen to me.
Just Gino.
Just me.
Maybe a guest. Anybody want to guest with us? Let us know.
I mean, the baby can guest. Yeah, we'll be like Ryan, the kid that plays with toys, but he just reviews movies. And he goes, how does he review the movie? What does he say? What's your thoughts on The Last of Us season finale, baby? Blah, 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 blah. So, will The Last of Us be over by the time our baby's born? How many episodes?
How many episodes are you asking me?
Isn't that crazy?
No,
before the season's over, baby.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on the episode 3 and 4, baby?
Flailing.
He just flails around, kicks.
Yeah. So
that was for the audio listeners.
That was right. Yeah. Follow us on Instagram, okay?
Yeah.
So you can participate in those polls.
Follow us on TikTok and leave mean comments.
No.
Or like and subscribe on YouTube to see our face in our very expensive but not an Arri camera.
Bum bum bum.
Or Sony. Sorry, Sony.
All right. Well, that's it. Thank you for tuning in.
I want to not thank you for Millie, who did not appear on camera because she's sleeping over there.
Boo, Millie. If you like what you heard and you want to know more, follow us on all of those things at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever you listen to so you never miss an episode. Our website is forbetterorworse.buzzsprout.com. Like and subscribe to our show on YouTube so you can see what we look like. We look great today.
Do we?
We look.
We look
today. To let us know what you think, comment, leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Any of that really helps the show. Engagement is what I keep hearing.
Like and subscribe. Engage.
See you next time when we talk more movies and TV.
Bye.
Bye.